Hello and welcome to the PvE-Gamer. Today we are talking about Flesh and Blood, and as always we are speculating at this point in time on the release of PvE and what it might contain or not contain, or what the implications on the market and cards could be. And today we're talking about a hero you wouldn't expect as the first contender for PvE. No, it's not Chain, it's just that I don't have a playmat for Arakni yet. And Arakni is a hero that has me worried a bit regarding full or real PvE. I'm a very big fan, as you might know as fan of this channel, of full cooperation mode. So there's an auto steered AI deck that basically plays from the top of the deck, where you reveal cards where something happens automatically. No one needs to play the bad guy or bad girl or bad person, and you all join up on the experience on beating the challenges before you. And Arakni has me a bit worried because without knowing much about the mode, they already seem sorry, not a native English speaker and I have to get used to this pronunciation. So they appear very strong. So Arakni has an ability that says whenever you play a card with Contract, you may look at the top card of target opponent's deck. You may put it at the bottom. This is, in my opinion, a very, very strong ability, especially if we see a mechanic that's similar to Ian's End, just cards are revealed from the top of the deck. Marvel LCG, cards are revealed from the top of the deck. Magic the Gathering, where they tried to do a full PvE mode. There are 3 decks out there which support real full PvE. We might make a video on them in the future. It reveals cards from the top of the deck. So if LSS doesn't come up with something very, very unique, which they might do, they are a very creative company, it certainly could be the possibility that we see a PvE deck that just reveals cards from the top of the deck. And when you have the option to manipulate the effect that the PvE deck will have on the board each and every turn as a basic ability, this seems to be very, very strong. Whenever you play a card with Contract, you may look at the top card of target opponent's deck, and playing a Contract isn't really that much of a challenge for Arakni. So let's take a look at some assessing cards that we already know. Outsiders will introduce some new ones, but here we have Surgical Extraction. Surgical Extraction says Contract, or Harness. It is also blue, and you are contracted to banish opponent's blue cards. This begets the interesting question: will the opponent's deck have blue cards, yellow cards, red cards? Will Arakni be on one hand really strong because they can manipulate the top of the opponent's deck, and on the other hand be very weak because there are no blue stripes, yellow stripes? And when this hits a hero, so this part of the card seems pretty worthless in PvE, unless it is ruled that a hero is also an opponent, or there's an evil hero. Banish the top card of the deck, then look at their hand and banish a card. What if the opponent doesn't have a card? Does this mean we can't play Surgical Extraction? Does this mean there will be someone that has to play the opponent? As said, this hero makes me a bit worried about PvE. I'm hopeful, and I have very strong faith in LSS because they created a very, very great PvP game, and I think they can pull it off to make it a very, very good PvE experience. But this could pose to be a challenge. So we have Payday. Payday is much easier. Payday is, if you've completed a contract this turn, create 4 silver tokens. No problem here. This just fuels your equipment and enables you to bring back your mask and black tech from the graveyard to block a bit more. Regicide. Regicide is a rather interesting case, because when this hits a royal hero, they lose the game. So if we have a PvE opponent that is royal, this might be a very, very strong card. There could be a whole theme where a group of players tries to give Arakni the opportunity to have the final blow on a royal hero, because there is no other way to win this PvE encounter. Thematically, there are very, very interesting questions that Arakni poses, and I would be interested in your opinion, so feel free to comment and give me your opinion on Arakni and how you think they fit in PvE.